Oh, welcome, guys, to this elevated FX trade house session for the London session specifically. My name is Dre Day FX. So what we do here is we look at the market regarding of the Enigma system and see exactly if we have any setups here overall for this London session. So we're April 21st, 2022. So yeah, we're just gonna go back and see exactly what's up here in the market, and if we have any setups here for the next 2 hours. So we're here from 3 a.m. Eastern time to up to 5 a.m. Eastern time. So we look at what's up here in the market. So I hope everyone is having a blessed week regarding of their trading account and their trading journey. So let's get it here. Okay, so I'm just gonna do some make sure that everyone has access to this live. So I'm just gonna here. All right. All right, guys. So let's see if we have any setups here overall. So let's see if we have any. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see if we have anything. So when you get with the elevated effects and you have the discovery and you take the discovery package, we have you're gonna have access to those products here. So you're gonna have the Enigma AI. So this is the Enigma AI system. So giving you entries and TPs. Okay, as you can see, there's most of the trades that we have here with the Enigma AI are really hanging. Other than that, you have the trade manager. So that will manage your trade. And you have I'll give you an option, some results here regarding of the trade manager that we have on the profit zone right now. So as you can see, we have Ivana here that is using those two products here to make some profits overall. So that's basically the signal with the trade manager system. Same thing here, right? And here too. So shout out to Ivana on that. And lastly, you have the weekly COT update that is provided by yours truly. So basically, every week, what I do is I do the commitment of traders for all of our members, and I give you access to the pairs that will be moving here overall for the week. So that way, you know exactly which pair that will be that can be focused on, and especially you have the big movers. Those are the pairs that has the biggest difference between the commercial contracts from one week to another. So basically, we look at the last 2 weeks of data before the current week. So since today is the 21st, the week of the 18th, so we look at the commercial data from the fourth and the 11th. So that give you access to the bias here for this week. Okay. So that's what you have here. Okay, so that's really all in the discovery package. Okay, and you have the mastery. You're gonna have access to everything that you have on the discovery and the mastery. So FX mastery. Okay, so you have that. You have the trade ideas of our educators, and you have the liquidity pool option. And you're gonna have access to live streams from our educators here that have schedules here. So yesterday we had a schedule here with the Asian Sniper, and you have IT2 that had a session here yesterday. So basically you have like the New York session, and you have some education here. Perfect. And eventually you're gonna have the automation that we have access to. But overall, that's about it. So we're just gonna go on the FX setup. So far we had one signal here for sell at 11 p.m. I'm just gonna go back here and see how that setup went so far. So we're gonna go on GBP USD. So we had it as a sell. As you can see, the momentum was still going on the upside. So it did almost hit TP1, but then it did reverse. And then now we could still see that it already took the high here. And we could still see a continuation here going on. So this trade currently is as a loss here, but that's no problem like that. So if you make sure that you use the trade manager and you risk accordingly based on your account size, and you should be good here to be able to get another entry here for another setup for this pair or any other pair here. So let's go back here. So we had, okay. So let's look at different pair. Gonna go on GBPAUD. So for the week here, so GBPAUD. So far we had one setup. And guys, and you have to remember that you have to have an actual framework, okay, of trading, an actual style of trading that is complemented with the service that we're offering, right? So and you have to know your basic in trading, your movement, your support resistance, and what we are in the market, and see exactly if a trade would make sense or not. Okay, but if you're a newbie on in trading, that's no problem. That's why we have the system here for you and the trade manager that will minimize your risk and make sure that you get out of the market here when you're in sort of a profit here. Okay, so this trade in particular, this one, it didn't went in there, right? But it wasn't basically in consolidation here, and you were trying to take that high, but it didn't, and then went back down. So this one was a loss, but compared to this trade that we had last week, it was in consolidation too, but it did rally up and hit your TP2. So with the trade manager, what happened is that depending exactly on the option that you have, if it's a risk reward or you're trailing by percentage, and you take a partial profit here based on each of the TP sections here, you would be in good profit overall. Perfect. So let's look at we could look at the indices too. Enigma does work on indices and commodities. So as you could see, this is gold on the 1 hour chart. Okay, we'll zoom out a little bit. Perfect. Okay. So as you can see, that's on the 1 hour chart. You could still go on the lower chart. You have access with the Enigma system to go on the 30-minute or the 1 hour. Okay, so if you go on the 30-minute, and you see that on the 30-minute you still have good setups here. This one hit TP2. This one hit TP1. This one almost hit TP1. This one stopped you out. This one hit TP3. Almost, right? Stopped you out. This one stopped you out. This one almost did TP1. So you get the point, guys. So it's and it's only one pair. And if you're able to manage properly your account with all of the software that we have to offer, you're gonna be in the green. Okay, as all of our customers that are in the profit zone. So I'm gonna scroll up to show you guys that it's not since last month that people were making progress in the account. Okay, let's scroll up. You're gonna see that this is exactly the way that you're gonna see the setups here. You're gonna have your entry, your stop loss, and your TP zones. And this trade in particular went to TP1 and was still going up. And those zones were still going to be there here, guys, to if you want to do a replay and see exactly what happened. And as you can see, still profit here. Still profit, right? Another setup. This one smashed DP3. So I went back up, went back to your entry price, then shoot up to TP2, went back to TP1, went back to an entry price, and then back to TP3. And this trade with the trade manager would have only put a 0.02 lot size to put a market execution and just let it run. And the trade manager would have put you out in profit here with a certain amount of percentage, depending exactly on how you want to set up. If it's 100% at that price, or 25% with 50% there, or it's 100% here, or whatnot, depending exactly on the combination that you want, you're gonna be able to take profit and secure your account here on that. Okay. That was in February, so we're gonna profit. Okay, so you get the point, guys. So that's a good day. So that was in one day with the trade manager, and the trade manager will be updated here shortly for everyone with the additional features that we have here so far. So make sure to get in and to wait for the newest updates here on that. So that's what you're going to be able to secure profit here on that. So perfect. Okay, so let's look at USDJPY. Okay, and I wanted to show you exactly one of the trade that I took. And I have to remember where I took it here. Oh, exactly. That's the trade that I was talking about. So this trade, so I took the trade right here for buy, and that was that was on Monday. Tuesday, sorry about that. So this trade I took it here, but the reason why I took the trade was I was looking for a continuation here in the upside based on the actual structure of this trade. So the Enigma gave you a buy setup here. It went to TP2 and then went back down. Okay, but this candle formation was a big indication that we were they took the lows here and went back up for a continuation. So what I did here is that I waited for this to appear, and Enigma gave me a buy entry. So what I did here is that I put a buy at that price and just let the thing ride here with the trade manager. And as you could see, went back to my entry, back, basically back to the entry price here. So if you had added a pending order, it would be entered here at this candle. But if you put market execution, that would be the 0.02 option instead of the 0.01 option. You would have been entered right here. So little to low to no drawdown here. If you so basically it's a low drawdown, and it's not, what is that, 91 to 7. That's maybe 11 pips. And as you can see, it smashed TP3 here on the next day. So great trade. And that was on an hour. I'm just gonna look at the H1. It was on a 30-minute, so on the H1 you could see that it was a pretty good setup here. Okay, and that candle formation, that's really a good invitation for a continuation to the upside. Perfect. And that was another trade that I took on USDJPY that I posted a video on my YouTube channel. So make sure to follow me on @DreDayFX. So you could search DreDayFX on YouTube, and you're gonna see all of my videos here based on trade that I took or committed traders analysis that I should be starting back real soon. But you're gonna see exactly that trade play out. Okay, so and my take profit area was that high. Okay, and as you could see, it went up and then consolidated and continued to push up. Perfect. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let me check if there's any question. Okay, so let me check if there's any question. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so we have GTHD. That's asking me if I have a Telegram. Yes, I do have Telegram, but usually what I do with Telegram is I use it only for like business or related talk. But I could share you my Telegram. It's DRETHERIVALS. So I'll just put it. Put it on the chat, but or you could follow me on Facebook. I have a Facebook link on the my YouTube channel on DreDayFX, but I'll put my Okay. And if you're a person that is spammy or whatnot, I'll block you. So be aware about that. There you go. Perfect. All right. So let's continue on that. So yeah, if you have any questions, guys, I'll answer them. All right, perfect. And if you have any like pairs that you want me to review, that is that is that you want to see with our Enigma system, I could show you any pair if you want. Okay. And this session will be every Tuesday, Eastern time, 3 a.m. Eastern time. So and if you don't have access to this system, make sure to join us here at EFX. So you have the link in the description box of this video, or you could reach me at 3DFX here on my YouTube channel, and I'll be glad. We're gonna be glad to assist you on that. Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's just gonna go back here on the FX setups and see the trades that we had here since the start of the week. And I'll show you exactly how I actually take my setups. Basically, what I look at when I receive the alerts, and what I'm basically gauging on my decision on taking the trade or not. Okay, it's really simple, guys. What I do is I look at my commitment of traders. Okay, so if you don't know what is the community of traders, make sure to go back to my YouTube channel and see exactly how community of traders works and how um, to use it. Okay, and what I do is that I scan the market. Basically, I take the signals based on those pair that I put here on that section. Okay, and as you see, what I was showing you guys a little bit earlier was the USDJPY. So I took two trades for the last 2 weeks on USDJPY, and as you could see, those two trades did hit. Okay, so you had this trade that was on the 14th, that was on last Thursday, and you have this trade that I took on Tuesday. Okay, so both of them won easily. Okay, so that's what I do is I make sure that I look at my pairs that I have here, and I look at the big movers. Okay, so if if one of the currency pair has one of those on it, I make sure that I focus on those. Okay, that's why I focus on the USD JPY on this week. But this week, as you could see, USD or JPY was not out of big movers. But since it's on this list here for the week, it's really something to consider, right? Perfect. So I do this, so I do the COT, okay, and then I wait for my setup. Okay. And if we have an alert for the setup specifically, I just risk manage my account, make sure my trade manager is set up, and I take the trade. Okay. Um, so that's good on that. And if you have any other way to manage your position, it could be on your own or whatnot. That's even better. But with all of that we have here with EFX, that's a good thing. Okay, so let's look at another pair. Okay, let's go at the. Okay, what we're gonna do? I'm just gonna go on the list of with the COT and look at pairs from there. So we have odds chef. So odds chef. Odds chef this week. So we had 3 setups here on odds chef. So as you could see, you had this setup here that did it hit TP1 almost, depending exactly on the spread, but and then it went back up. Now you had this one for a buy, and that will be a good indication to take a buy based on the market structure. Okay, so as you can see, this was basically an imbalance. We were still going down. If you see multiple candles going in the same direction, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 candle going to the same direction. You know that the market will pull up to that price for maybe a reversal or maybe continuation here, maybe going up here and then going down. Okay, so that's exactly what happened. So it went up to that price. So there was an entry here at that price. It went to TP2 and then consolidated a little bit and then went back down. Okay, and then this candle pattern, this is what you want to see, is for an uptrend it will be a down candle, then an engulfing candle that takes out the high of the previous candle. And as you could see, it engulfed basically all of those candles here. Okay, so that's a good indication it's still going up. So if we go down on the 30-minute chart, we'll see exactly if we have any setups on the 30-minute chart based on that. So that was still the same trade here. That was on the H1, but as you could see, continuation going up. Even though there was no signals here, but this is a good trade to take with a continuation. And here you had a buy signal that was still going in the same direction as the trend, so that's a good setup to take. So this one hit TP1, went back down, never touched your stop loss, and then went back to TP2, and right now that's where we're at right now. Okay, so good setup on that. Let's look at Let's look at the ADJPY. So far this week, we had one setup. Okay. So this one hits your stop loss, but then went to TP2 here. So depending exactly, let's look at the 30 minute to see if we had anything for this week. You see, so on the 30 minute, you had a good setup, right? So on the H1, that's why you have to see exactly to put multiple alerts here on the 1 hour or the 30 minutes, and you could set up your own alerts, not only the ones that are sent out on the FX setup, okay, but you could create your own alert. Okay, so how do you create your own alert? So let's. So if you go under the Enigma AI, you're gonna have the option to create an alert. So if you create an alert here, so create alert. So Enigma AI, and you create your own alert, and you could push it to your phone or anything like that. So that's why you have to put it on multiple time frame if you want to receive multiple alerts here on the same pair, but one different time frame. Make sure you set those alerts here on your own. So here you have, so that was the signal that you had on H1, right? But then on the 30 minute, you had another buy setup here, and that was the best buy setup overall for this pair. So you had here buy, so you would enter it here, would hit your TP1 already within the first 30 minutes, then went back down, never touched your stop loss, then TP2, TP3. Okay, so on that candle, you would have been out of the market. All right, so let's continue. So we had CAT CHF. Let's look at the 1 hour. See if we had anything. Okay. Perfect. So you had basically three setup on H1. So I had one here, almost hit TP1, went back down. It's okay. Now this one, you had a buy after 3 hour hit your TP3. That's perfect. Then you had a sell setup here, and with a big momentum going down. So this one hit TP2, and then, like I said previously, if you see a pattern like that, so you have it could be a direction for a sell, but this one was for buy. So you have a down candle with an up candle engulfing the previous candle. Okay, so this is a reversal pattern. So with that, we'll still look for a continuation going on. But let's look at the 30-minute chart to see if we had more setups here going up based on what we had here, based on that reversal pattern here. And as you could see, This one you had another sell setup. Still went to TP1, then went back up, still TP1, but it was still going on the uptrend. So based on your analysis, and me personally, I wouldn't take that trade because basically it's a counter directional trade. That's what I call them. Why? Because it's not going in the same bias that what I'm looking at, right? Because the price is going up, but we're still looking for the ANMO was giving you sell. So sometimes you even though you're gonna take some profit, it's better off to not take trade and make sure to take the trade that makes the overall sense based on your bias. Okay, that's me personally. But so far that hit TP2, this one hit TP3, right? That's the one that we looked at on H1. This one stopped you out. This one stopped you out too, but it was a small trade. So overall, if you took all of those signals, you would be in profit overall. Okay, regardless. So those, if you hit TP, so this one was a winner. This one too, and this one, and you had two losses here. Okay. This one, yeah, it was still good here. After 2 hours, you would be up, but overall, depending exactly on the spread, but this one, those two were losses here. Okay, that's okay. Okay, next, let's look at CAD JPY. So CAD JPY. CAD JPY. H1. Okay, so this one you had your entry. So the best trade here so far, and and I'll show you exactly why I say this is the best way, and that's the small one here. Why? Because this one it was at the beginning of the week, so you had the consolidation. Because you have to remember that the candle starts with a consolidation. It has to open, right? And when it opened, this one was an overall buy, and as you could see, we had CAD, you had the JPY and CAD that was big movers. Okay, so if you see like two, especially on the conventional traders, if you see two of them that are considered as big movers, you know that this pair will be moving a lot. Okay, and as you could see, it was a overall buy, and it never went down. Okay, so I would only look for buy setups here on that pair for the week, and this one hit TP3 easily. And if you had the trade manager and you only took like let's say at TP3 you took 80% of the trade, and you let the rest ride, that's a big risk to reward play. So let's see. Let's see if you had taken that trade and you had kept it up. So that's almost 2.5% more than your original entry. So 2.5%, okay, compared to that's what that's half. Imagine, guys. See that? So that's 0.24%. Just gonna make sure that I'm putting it the right way. So the entry is here. That's 0.20%, 0.20%, right? But if you had kept your trade on, or a percentage of your trade, that's almost 2.5%, more than 2.5% growth on your account if you have kept it open since the beginning of the week. That's pretty amazing, huh? Let's see, go here. Yeah, 2.3%. That's crazy. So that was a winner, and that's a winner. We're gonna look at the 30-minute. So you see if we have any more setups. Because in the lower time frame, you're gonna have more setups for sure. Okay, so that's the original setup that we took. But this one, as you could see, it was showing you as a sell. But here, oops, let's see. And here you see it was a buy setup. But on a 30-minute, it was giving you a sell setup. You see the difference? See the difference, everyone? So that's why you have to look at multiple chart time to see exactly what is the best entry and the entry that makes sense based on the overall market structure, right? So this one was invalid because it was in consolidation and then stopped you out. Now this one, it hit TP1, then went back down. This one stopped you out, okay. And this one, it hit TP1 and almost TP2, but you would still have been in the trade here if you took partials on TP1. So we'll see how it goes here after that. But here, like I said, so far the best trade was this one for buy, and you see the result. Perfect. So let's continue. So we have Euro CHF. That's what's going on here. Perfect. Okay, so Euro CHF, we had here 4 setups on each one. So this one, the loss. This one hit TP3, smashed it. Then you have TP1. This one, unfortunately, didn't went to TP1 at all. Still continues going up, and right now it's going up here still. And so we have a good right now. There's for sure there's maybe news currently, but let's look at if there's is or not. So I always go on Forex Factory for any news update. Right. So let's look at so we have the Eurostat for the goods and services at 5. But sometimes they're gonna give you a move before the actual news time. So right now it's at 350, 351, 352. So let's see how it goes. but we're gonna look at the 30-minute. And me personally, depending exactly on, I always look at, most of the time I don't trade on Mondays. Monday would be considered, if you're in the East. Monday is considered as Asian session open at 8, or will be basically at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday until closing Monday afternoon, right? So that is considered as Monday for me. So basically, on Monday night, I start trading. Okay. The reason why is that I'm waiting for the amount the increase in volume here in the market, and usually most of the time you have um access to, what do they call, since the big players will be trading a lot. I always look, if you go back on previous currencies, you're going to see that the volumes start to kick in on Monday night, Eastern time, right? But you could look at your own analysis on that. So perfect. So Leon is saying that the okay. Hello, thanks for pairs COT list. A great, Enigma said a great profit. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Uh, Happy that you like that we're giving you those type of confluence here for the market. And yeah, and like I said, I should just restart doing some COT calls for in-depth analysis before the market opens. Usually, I do that on my previous schedule was Monday night and Friday night, but Um, we'll see how I'm gonna do that. Maybe I'm gonna do that on Sundays, or we'll see. We'll see. Or maybe I'll just record them and put it in the group on the COT weekly update. But I'll see exactly how I'm gonna do that. But yeah, it's committing with traders with Enigma is really powerful. And any other tips and tricks that you have with our educators are even better. So yeah, make sure to lock in with EFX. We have a lot of resources for you guys to take your trade on another level. So it's 3:55. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break. Okay. So we'll wait until 4. Maybe when I have some setups coming in. Maybe when I have some setup on Euro specifically because it's moving really good so far. But we'll see how it goes here. So it's 3:55. So in yeah, I'll come back here at maybe at 3:50 59. Okay, so maybe one minute before the hour. So yeah, I'll come back to you guys in a couple minutes. All right, so we are back. So it's 3:59. So we should get. We'll see if we have any alerts here coming in on FX setup. So this is like every hour. Okay, you're gonna receive the notification here if there's any setups here. Not every hour, but if there's any setups specifically. So usually around this time, maybe between 1 and 5 on the London session, you should receive alerts here. So it's 4 right now. Let's see if we have anything. There we go. So we have USDZAR and GBPNZD. So let's look at GBPNZD. We're going to look at USDZAR first, okay? So USDZAR. So here we go. So this is how you're going to see these setups here. So you're going to have your TPs, okay, with the entry and the stop loss. So right now, did look at a good setup. And let's look at GBP and BD. So this one is a good setup too. And as you all know, as I always say, you have an engulfing candle. So this is maybe a continuation going down, but looks like a good setup here. So that's should be a good setup, guys. I'm more confident on this one. Because it was doing a higher high, a higher low, basically. So here, and still a good continuation going down. So I would expect this one to hit some good TPs here overall. So it's already at TP1. Yeah. So got AUD. Let's look at AUD too. Let's see. AUD. And it depends exactly on if you have AUD. Depends exactly on the version of Enigma that you're using, because there's two versions. You have the 1.0 or the 1.1. So let's look to see if we have anything. Always use the 1.1 because that's the latest update. So make sure you're using the right updated version. So Leon, I think you're using the 1. Right? The 1.0. Sorry about that. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So there's. Okay, got it. Okay, so 1.1 is showing you this. But the alerts that you're receiving on the Enigma setups the FX setup is the 1.1. Okay, so that's why you don't see anything here in the chat here. So let's see how it goes. So I'm just gonna go back on GBPNZD. Okay, so let's close that. Let's see. USDZAR. Let's yeah, so we'll do it that way. So we're gonna put the USDZAR here, and this one we're gonna put GBPNZD, and see how it's gonna play out. So we're gonna still be here on this call for the next hour. So we're not gonna see everything played out in full, but you want to make sure that make sure that you see how the those setups are sent out here overall. Yeah, so the ZAR is already hitting TP1, as you can see. And the GBPNZD trade is depending exactly if you're waiting for that price to come at that point, because the entry price was here, but you had the option to go on market execution or just put a pending order at that price. So Leon says indicator for odd USD no longer exists. No, it's still there, Leon. What happened is that we had a lot of people that were still using the original version of Enigma because we already do update on the system, and there are some people that liked the 1.0 compared to the 1.1, and there's other people that were that like the 1.1 instead of the 1.0. So what we did here is, instead of removing the 1.0 and just force everyone to go on the 1.1, we give the option to go on 1.0 or the 1.1, depending exactly on how you liked it or not. Okay, so it still exists. So you have a toggle to change to 1.0 to 1.1 on the Enigma AI option in TradingView. So you have the option to change it from one to another if you like. So you're gonna see exactly if so that's why you're not gonna see those setups sent out on the FX setup in Discord. So as long as you set up your own alerts on your chart based on the version that you like, you're gonna see them through your phone or through the application. So it's still so it's still there, but for anything that is sent out for FX setup, you're gonna receive the 1.1 version. If that makes sense for you, Liam. All right, so you have USDZAR that is still continuing up. So got it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's why we have the updated version, because as you could see, maybe they're gonna have some setups that are gone through a few minutes. So that's why we optimize the uh, the Enigma system to the 1.1. So I did the optimization of the software here that you have on the 1.1. So I personally, I think that the 1.1 is a little bit cleaner. Yeah, so you're gonna see a big difference on that. No problem. Right, so let's look. Right. So far we have USDZAR that is good, but NZD trade looks good too. Let's see. Charlie. Perfect. So hopefully you guys took maybe one of those trades here. So yeah, I'm looking to see if what's gonna play with the GBPNZD. So I'm looking to get in on that, but so far ZAR is going up smoothly. So and another indication that this is a good trade. This is an engulfing candle of this previous low candle here, and as you could see, this was a consolidation here phase that we had, and then there was a shoot up here. And this one, I still think that it's still gonna go down, based on what I see here. So it's right. Yeah, so good question, Leon. So he says, I got signal from Discord, GBNZD. Often signal come late to enter. Should I wait to entry uh, for entry price? Okay. Me personally, I do not wait for the entry price. That's my that because most of the time it's not gonna hit the entry price because what happened is that the signal it has to come from the previous candle to close to get the entry, right? So even though the entry price is maybe at the middle of this candle, let's for example here you have it at the middle of the candle, but maybe it's not gonna come back to it. So what I do is that I put a market execution on it, or if you look at the structure of the price, it could go back down. So you have the option to put as a pending or market execution. But me personally, I always do market execution, and I lower my risk. So let's say the price goes back to the stop loss. If my entry was, let's say, at the beginning of this candle, and it goes way back up here, I know that my account will be secured based on my risk because I don't risk a lot on my trade. But if you thinking of doing a pending, you could still do a pending here, okay? Because sometimes it's gonna shoot up near the price and then continue it down. But that at the end, it's a preference. But you could back test the system to see exactly which one would make sense to you to take. But me personally, I do market execution. No problem. Yeah. So far, those two trades are gonna play out. I know that not a lot of people use trade the ZAR, but the ZAR is when you get good setups on the ZAR, it's gonna the ROI is really high because of the volatility of this trade of this this pair. So you could get some good setups here, but you have to make sure that you risk not a lot because you may have some this situation like this that the price shoot up with a big wig like that, It's crazy, yeah. But this is yeah, this is the price to pay to play the game here. And you see that you're gonna have a lot of big wicks like that that comes out. But sometime, usually the best time to trade the ZAR is at the start of the market of the day. Basically, basically at London, this is the best time to trade the USD ZAR. Okay, so that's a good pointer for you guys. And as you could see, usually at London and US, basically around, I would say around between 4 and 8 p.m. Eastern time, a.m. Sorry, Eastern time. You're gonna have some good movement here with the ZAR. So at the start of the day, it's still gonna consolidate, and then it's gonna do a big move like this. So it's a good pointers for you guys. Okay. Okay, so Leon says to tell the difference between 1.0 and 1.1. I used to have 1.1 before, but 1.0 seems less signals but more reliable. Or it's let's the 1.0 is like I said, it's the original Enigma that we sent out, but there was a little bit of bugs in it regarding of entries and some repainting issues. So that's why we have the 1.1 here. And as you can see, the 1.1, you have maybe less, I would say, would it be less entries? More or less the same as 1.0, but I would say that the quality of trades on the 1.1 is a little bit better on than 1.0, in my opinion, by looking at the backtest and the profit factor overall when we do the backtest in the back end. So for that, I wouldn't know. I don't know exactly what the Croatian uh, people from Croatia are using right now. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I said. That's what I thought here. The 1.1 has more setups for sure. Um, but regarding of who's using the 1.1 compared to the 1.0, uh, I wouldn't know. For now, we didn't have. Would have to maybe do a survey on that to see exactly if the 1.0 is still used uh, with our clients. But maybe eventually we're gonna remove the 1.1, depending exactly on future updates we're gonna have. So we'll see. But yeah, maybe give us the feedback on what which version that you like, overall if it's the 1.0 to 1.1, but you have the option to toggle between those two, see exactly what would be the best one for you to use. All right, 425. So we'll see. Okay, so 5 setups on 1.0. Is it on the? Okay, so that's on which pair, Leon? Yeah, it's on which pair that you saw that there was 5 setups on 1.0. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Got it. So CFT. So for this week we had the GBPNZD, okay, and and the GBP was a big mover. So currently I'm in the GBPNZD trade, and based on what I said here regarding of the reversal pattern here, if it's an engulfing candle like that, that's a good play. So we'll see how it goes. And sometimes if you see a wick like that after engulfing candle here, you could see a continuation here in the downside in that direction. So but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'll go. So In the meanwhile, we're gonna look. Just gonna put those two trades here. Perfect. Just gonna look at the NZD pairs, NZD CHF. Yeah. So NZD CHF is still, it's going up right now. EURGBP. GBP. Oops. Where did it go? So what I'm doing right now is that I'm looking at because since we're trading, for example, the GBPNZD, I'm looking at anything that is NZD compared to another currency, and another currency compared to the British pound. Okay, so I'll give you an example of what I'm doing here on a notepad. So we have GBP NZD, right? So to make sure that your bias is validated here, we have to look at what's happening with pairs that are against put in cap XXX. Against the British pound, right? And anything that has NZD, like this. Okay. So if I look at, for example, we have Euro GBP. The euro is very strong against the British pound. Okay. And if we look at NZD, always look at NZD USD. So here on NZD USD, it's giving me a buy setup. Okay. So by looking at those two, I can confirm that the British pound against the New Zealand dollar will go down, and it's giving you a sell setup here. So I'm really strongly biased here on this trade to go down based on those criterias. Okay, so this is how I look at the market. So I hope that that makes sense for you guys on that. So let's put euro GBP here. Oops, no, I was on the wrong thing. Here we go. So GBPNZD. There you go. So euro. I hope that made sense for you guys. So this is how I look at my stuff here. And right now the euro is still pushing up right now. It's still pushing. And this is what we call inverse correlation. Okay. So if the British pound is going down in price, so anything against the British pound should do the opposite. And as you could see, it's doing the opposite right now for the last four hours. So based on that, it's clear that the price is still it would still continue going down. So right now it hit TP1. So like I said, Leon. Yes, exactly. And basically, the COT is basically futures, because the futures, if I go back here, if you put only GBP and NZD, those are currencies, right? So those are futures. But if you add them up together, those are Forex. Forex is foreign exchange. So we have to exchange currency against another. So that's why we have it like this. But if you put it separately, those are future. So yes, if when I do COT, I look at futures and I add them up together to give me my bias. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So yes, those are futures. So it's easier to look at futures, but when you don't have, sometimes you don't have time, you want to make sure that those other pairs are making the same type of move, or the opposite move as the current currency that you're looking at. That's the best thing to do. All right, so let's see. All right. All right. So he said the GBPNZD sure is just pull back. Main bias is buy. GP future bias is different. Is bearish. Um, because you have to look at exactly where you're at in the market. So we still look at let's see here. So if we zoom out, I would still look for a bearish move here overall. Why I say that is if you look at, you always look at what's happening on the left, right? And here you see a big rally up. This is called an imbalance in pricing because it went back down here, took some liquidity, and then went back up really fast. But it has to, this is a big gap in the market. So they had to, me personally, I would look still for a play in the downside on that. But that's exactly, yeah. Exactly. So fair value gap. So that's what I'm seeing here. But they could still maybe continue to go up. But based on the display here, I'm more biased on going down than going up here overall with GN. But I'm not making the market. They're gonna do what they have to do. So it's a high probability trade. So we'll see how it plays out. But so far, those two signals that we had here are good here. So probably target is often for value gap. Yes, sometimes yes. But like I said, they could still continue going back at the opposite way and then go back to the fair value gap eventually. But we never know when they're gonna do that play. But right, let's see. Yeah, that USDZAR or never came down. A good play. GBPNZD. All right, perfect. Bye, Leon. Yeah, it's almost the top of the hour, so we're gonna still be here for until 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So another 12 minutes, and we'll close this session here. So great to have at least two setups here for you guys to see. If you look at the replay, and you're gonna see exactly how the those trades played out here in the next day or two. But so far we have good market movement here overall. And usually, guys, you want to make sure that you use the trade manager with that, because you just have to set it up, take your trade, go on with your day, and yeah, and it's gonna take care of taking partials and everything like that for you, so you don't have to stress out for anything like that. So now it's 49. So now it's we have a push down here on GN. We have USDZAR that is still pushing up. Oh, yeah, it still continues pushing up here. Right. Right. Have 7 minutes here remaining for those candles to close. So we had the USDZAR that hit TP1 within a couple of minutes. And we have GBPNZD that hit TP1. Now it's retracing a little bit. But personally, I would still look for a continuation here on those two directions here. For ZAR on the upside and for GBNZD on the downside. But overall, everything was moving beautifully here on the pairs here tonight, this morning. Whatever. There you go. You have ZAR still pushing up. We can stay another 5 minutes for the top of the hour. Yeah, and for you guys that are on my YouTube channel, so there was a 2 great signal setup that was sent out for you guys for free. So make sure to contact me here if you need any help here on having access to that system. I'll be glad to answer all your questions here that you have. We still have 3 minutes remaining. Yeah, ZAR is currently pushing up to TP2. Perfect. So we'll wait for the top of the hour. We're gonna look at to see if we have any setups here that is gonna come in here at 5. And we're gonna look at them, and we're gonna close this session. All right, so it's 5. Let's see what we have, if there's anything. Okay, so no setup so far. Perfect. All right, so I hope everyone had a great session here with the FX Trade House for the Thursday's London session. Once again, my name is Trade Day FX. So I'm the software manager here at EFX. So As you can see, we have a great product here that you could use to increase your trading knowledge here and your trading skills. So make sure to click the link below this video to join, or you could contact the person that referred you to this video to join EFX. So on that note, I wish you a wonderful training day and training week, and we'll talk to you next week, same time at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye for now.